I'm very excited to cover the species we're going to talk about today. Honestly, I have no idea why I even waited this long to begin with. This should have been covered. This should have been way far back, but whatever. Anyway, the giant moa. Probably the closest thing we have to prehistoric dinosaurs. Well, had, because they went extinct over 600 years ago. The moa actually refers to 9+ different species. It's kind of debated among scientists how many there actually were. I think there were probably between 8 and 12, 14-ish maybe. You'll get conflicting answers depending on where you look. The word moa itself actually means bird in Polynesian languages because they were native to New Zealand. I say that there are multiple different species and they all vary in different sizes. The smallest could have been around like 3 feet, but the biggest ones were between 10 and 13 feet high. That is really, really big for a freaking bird. But don't worry, because they feasted on leaves, twigs, berries, seeds, and flowers. That's not to say that they still couldn't be dangerous, but at least they didn't crave the flesh of humans. Anywho, these very large birds, you could probably guess, were radites, which belong to the same group of birds that ostriches and cassowaries and emus are in. Except, for some random reason, the moa was the only known type of bird to have no wings at all. Like, there's none. There's no wing bones at all. I know that, like, when you see the kiwi, you know, they look like they don't have wings, but they're just really tiny. No, they don't have any they don't have any wings. Females were larger than males, which led to the theory that they could have initiated courtship. And it could have taken as long as 10 years to reach their maximum size, which is a long time for birds because they grow up crazy fast. Another thing is they may have held their necks more horizontally as opposed to vertically, and extending them up to their full height to feed on the leaves and fruits on high branches. These birds had no natural predators except for the Haast's eagle, which was also a massive freaking bird, and I need to cover that one next. If this eagle is taking down 13-foot birds, if they were still alive because they're extinct too, they would probably snatch your toddler off the ground or something. To defend themselves against the Haast's eagle, the giant moa would use their strong legs to kick at them. So how did the moas go extinct? New Zealand remained pretty much uninhabited until the 1300s, and you can probably guess what happened next. The Maori people used their bones to craft spear points, hooks, and ornaments, eggshells as water containers, and their flesh for food purposes. It probably says this somewhere, but I don't remember seeing this, but I'm just gonna guess that it's gonna be like a dodo bird situation where the moa didn't recognize humans as a threat at that point and learned to trust them and not be afraid of them, which made them more vulnerable to being attacked and hunted down by humans, or they were just very huge and very hard to miss. Either way, there weren't as many to go around as it seemed, obviously, because they were driven to extinction by overhunting, unfortunately. It is estimated that the largest of the species most likely went extinct between the years of 1400 and 1445. The smaller species may have survived until the late 1800s to mid 1900s, but there's really no way to check this for sure. However, there were sightings claimed to be as late as 1959 by the author Alice Mackenzie. They were freaking incredible. I wish we could have gotten to know them longer so that we could have studied their biology a bit more, because unfortunately they went extinct so long ago that we only really have bones of them, and we have no way of really knowing their behavior and whatnot. Thank you for watching, and I hope you learned something new. Tell all your friends that there used to be a giant ass bird in New Zealand.